Hello, today I'm going to show you how to fill in an oddly shaped area that is sometimes found in my eventually granny square blankets. So here I have kind of a T-shaped area. I'm going to try to put the picture on the screen of what it would look like in the pattern. I try to put an asterisk in what I think is the best place to start, but in case I haven't, what you're going to want to look for is what I call an outie corner, so one of these. Right, because they do the corner out. This would be an innie corner, right, because it's kind of in a valley and a mountain, if you're familiar with origami terms. So you're going to want to start on an outie, and sometimes there are better outies than others, and consult the pattern to see where I've put the asterisk. There's probably a good reason for it. Since I'm going to start on one of those, I'm going to turn this project around. Right, so we're going to start on one of the outie squares. So I'm going to start here. Just going to join the yarn on like any other edging I'm doing. And start working the edging pattern, which is just the granny square pattern. So I'm going to go down in the U section. If you've made a EGS blanket before, you're quite familiar with this. All right, so I'm going to turn this sort of innie corner here, or valley corner, by doing a DC2 together with one of the doubles worked into this square and one of the doubles worked into that square, and we'll finish it off. We have a side here, so we'll just do our 3 double crochets. Okay, now I have another valley, so we'll do our DC2 together with one of the doubles in this square, one of the doubles in this square. And then we'll go up and around this one. So I'm on the corner here. I'll just do a standard granny square corner. That's what we have so far. I'm going to work across here to this innie corner. All right, so we'll do our DC2 together over this corner here. And then I'll work across this end square here on the sides. Okay, now we need another innie corner here. So that's DC2 together with 1 double crochet here and 1 double crochet here. Okay, now we're going to work across the edge here. And again, this is just like doing a regular edging on an EGS blanket or even on one of the all squared away blankets. I've gone across the top of this yellow square here. Now I'm where these two meet. I'm going to work my 3 double crochets into this space here that's in between. We've got that. I'll work around the side of this little square here. And we've got another spot where the 2 corners meet. So again, I'm going to go in this spot here. Okay, I will work across this green square and do our innie corner at the end here. So I'm at the corner. I'm just going to turn this and do this innie with the DC2 together. So the first one goes in the green, and the second one goes in this orange, and finish them off. All right, now we'll work across this orange square, and there's only 2 sides here, so 2 groups of 3 double crochets. Okay, now we need our innie here, so that's a DC2 together, one in the orange, one in the brown, and turn again. So we're coming back to where we started, so I'll just work across the top of this brown one. Okay, so I've reached the corner. I'm just gonna do the 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then join with a single crochet because we have another round to do. Oof, join with a single crochet, and I'm going to go around the same way. Now, if we take a look at our project so far, you can tell how many rounds are going to go into each sort of U-shape area by how many groups of 3 double crochets are in them. So this U-shaped area has 1 group of 3 double crochets. That's right there. That means that there'll be 1 more row or 1 more round to close this up. If we look on our ends here, we have 2 groups of 3 double crochets, and that means that we'll actually need 2 more rounds to fill in this area, right? So this next round is going to fill in this, but it will not fill in this. Let's do it. I'm going to work down the side of this brown square. Now I'm going to do my DC2 togethers in both of those corners. So here's the first one. 1 on the brown side, 1 on the yellow side, and finish. And then 1 on the yellow side and 1 on the red side, and finish. Now, normally I wouldn't join at this point. There are some cases where it is useful to do a slip stitch into this area here. And I think when you're filling in like this, like if you're just doing the U-shaped area on the edging, it's not so bad, although you might want to switch to this, I don't know. So when I'm filling in an area like this, I like to do a slip stitch. Like after I finish turning the corner, I like doing a slip stitch join just into that hole there. I like to lock it in place, you don't have to. Before I move on. So I'm going to do my 3 double crochets into the red side here. And then I'm going to join into the side with a slip stitch. And then I'll work this next 3 double crochets. And then I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to work this corner here. Now, normally when you get to a corner, you would join to the corner on the other side. However, this corner on the side's not done yet. So we're just going to leave this not attached until we come back here, and we will join these two corners together once I finish the corner on this side. So just ignore the join for now and turn your corner as you normally would. And we'll go along the side of this red square here. Okay, we'll spin it around. And we're just going to do this U-shaped area like we did last time. So we'll do our DC2 together, one on the red side, one on this sort of dark salmon side. Finish it off. And we'll do 3 double crochets into that side there. We have another innie corner. We're going to do our DC2 together. So one on the dark salmon side, one on the dark yellow side. And now we can turn. Okay, I'm going to work across this long edge now, and it's pretty straightforward because we've already dealt with working in between the squares. So this is just 3 double crochets into each space. Okay, I've made it down to this valley again. So I'm going to work my DC2 together in the corner here, one on the green side, one on the orange side. Finish that off. And we'll work our 3 double crochets into the side of the orange here. Right, we'll do the decrease there. So DC2 together, one on the orange side, one on the brown side. Finish that off. Okay. And now I'm going to work across the top of this brown one to the corner where, remember, we have to still join. Let's work across the top. Okay, here I am at the corner, so I'm going to do my 3 double crochets. And now I'm going to join to the, you see that? Yeah. I'm going to join to the chain space of the corner across the way here. I'll do slip stitch, and I'll lock it in place. And we're going to slip stitch into the top of the turning chain. I'm just going to slip stitch here. Okay, so we have one more round that we need to do, right? If we look at the ends, there's only one group of 3 double crochets now, and that'll close up this hole. So we're kind of in this awkward spot here. The yarn's in the front, so what I'll do is I'll just do another slip stitch in that hole, and it gets it to the back. And we're going to do 3 double crochets in here. So we're going to start with our turning chain and then 2 double crochets, and then we'll work around. So we're closing up this round, but we have nothing to join this side to, so it's just normal until we get to that corner. Ooh, one more. Okay. So in this spot, we're going to need to do 2 valleys, so 2 DC2 togethers in a row. We'll do this first one, one on the red side, one on this dark salmon color side, and then one on the salmon side, and one on the yellow side. We'll finish that. Now, just like last time, I am going to do an extra slip stitch into this hole here, just to keep this nice and tight at the end. It's optional, but I recommend it when you're filling a hole like this. All right, now we're going to go across the yellow, and we do have some of this round across the way from us, so we're going to join while this is across from us. So we'll go on the yellow side with our 3 double crochets, and then we'll join with a slip stitch. our 3 double crochets, and then join with the slip stitch. 3 double crochets and join with the slip stitch. 3 double crochets and join with the slip stitch. Now we have this similar issue here. So we've got the side join now. We have the similar issue as we had before in that there's not really a space for us to work in. You could join the next one to like the top of that 3 double crochets, but it's easier to just leave this not joined to that one until you come back around. So we're going to keep going. This time we don't need to join, we're just edging. Okay, we're at the end here of the U-shaped area. We're going to do our 2 decrease stitches in a row. I think this time I'm not going to slip stitch it together just to show the difference, right? So we do our DC2 together, one in the green, one in the orange, and then another one in the orange, one in the brown. Okay. And I like to join there, but I'm not going to do that this time. If you want to keep joining, it would just be there. Like your hook's going to be right next to it. I'm going to skip that so we can see the difference. All right, so I did our 3 double crochets, and then we're going to join. And then 3 double crochets. Join. 3 double crochets and join, 3 double crochets and join. Oops. Okay. And now we've joined already there. All that's left is to join to the turning chain at the beginning of the round. Like that. So now we have the whole area filled in. Do that and then pull it to the back for end weaving. Okay, so let's see what the difference is. And for being honest, it's not a big difference. This side didn't have the extra slip stitch, and this side did. When it stretches, yeah. It's not a huge difference. I'm just looking at it through the camera screen, and yeah, it doesn't look too different anyway. So it's an option. I have found on some blankets it does get a little gapey. I don't know why. So you can decide if you want to do that extra slip stitch. That is how you use edging to fill in an oddly shaped hole in the Eventually Granny Square blanket series. Thanks for watching. Hi. Are you helping? Because it seems like the opposite of helping. Yeah. You know, I was filming at this time of day because you're usually napping. Oh, okay. Well, how can you nap when I'm being so interesting? I know. Yes, you get all the belly rubs. All right, and then you're going to go on the bed where you can have a nap. All right, there we go. Hold on. All right, what was I doing?